Welcome to the Matt O'Grady Coaching Podcast, mattogradycoaching.com. Well, today I'm going to be taking you through an article that I've written for my upcoming event in September on the science of gratitude. And the name of this article is The Top 10 Scientific Benefits of Gratitude. Now, there are many dozens, but since I am promoting this event, I wanted to go ahead and write an article about it and get a little deeper into the science of gratitude. So this is something I studied for many years and got the opportunity to go out to Shambhala in Colorado, Red Feather, Colorado. Very excited. Such a beautiful place, nestled in the mountains. It's gorgeous. September's going to be an amazing month to be there. And so I'm going to take you through this article because understanding the science of gratitude, I think, really puts things in perspective. So we all know that being thankful, being appreciative is a really good feeling place. Raises our vibration, just helps us to feel better overall. But one of the things that's often overlooked is how simple gratitude is, how easy it is. So we focus on other things. We don't connect with the truth of how feeling grateful, thankful, appreciative can really shift our consciousness, just because the ego within us, the intellectual mind within us, really likes to complicate things. But when you simplify it and simply practice being thankful for anything, whether it's your breath, your body, your family, your friends, the roof over your head, the food in the fridge, the car in the driveway, the job, the five senses, you really start to tap into something really special, really powerful, and absolutely life-changing once we practice it daily. That's where gratitude, appreciation, and thankfulness really kind of skyrocket. Without practicing it daily, it just becomes this kind of nice little thing you do every once in a while. You get the check mark, and you do it once a week or a couple times a month, and you feel like, oh yeah, I'm grateful. I'm grateful, 20, 30 times a year, which is something, for sure. It's not nothing. But to really tap into the depth of how an appreciation practice can change your life, you got to practice it daily, because then you're practicing it naturally many times throughout the day, and now your whole day is transformed. So here's a quote. "A grateful mind is a great mind, which eventually attracts itself to great things." And that's from Plato, over 2,000 years ago. A grateful mind is a great mind, which eventually attracts itself to great things. So you see this idea of counting our blessings, feeling the emotion of gratitude for them, and not owing anything to anyone, just simply having that feeling can really change your day, your month, your year, your life. All right, so let's get into this list. Number 1 on this list is gratitude has positive, lasting effects on the brain. Do you think your brain's important? Last time I checked, pretty important organ for how your life is going to function. And so what we say here is when a person feels the positive emotions of gratefulness, their brain structure actually changes. First, the medial prefrontal cortex of the brain lights up, which is responsible for feelings of reward, morality, social connections, and the ability to recognize positive things and experiences. Gratitude actually creates new neural pathways in these zones. Repeated practice strengthens our ability to revisit positive experiences and the emotional benefits over time. In other words, when you practice gratitude, the easier it will be to enter a grateful state of mind. And that's why I talk about practicing it daily, right? Because you want to access this part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, because that is the neuroplasticity, the pathway to it. So just like anything else in life, whatever you do more of, you create more of it in your life. If you want that to be complaining, then go ahead, complain. You'll get more to complain about. You want to be grateful, you're going to get more to be grateful about. Just listen to what Plato was just saying. Now, here's one that's really present. I don't know if I'm going to get through all of these, but here's number 2. We can't skip this one. Gratitude boosts the immune system. Oh my God, come on. It boosts the immune system. I was trying to chant the beauty of the good of this, early in the days of the pandemic. Just thought it was so important to feel as much appreciation as possible while the world was going mad, And hey, don't get me wrong, it was a tragic, terrible thing, and we're still not completely out of it. I understand many countries are still dealing with it very significantly. Even some areas in the United States are still dealing with it significantly. I have a lot of compassion for anyone who's affected by COVID and everything that's gone through. However, we don't have to just sit in the victim role. We can take a more assertive mindset and say, I'm going to practice deep love, deep appreciation, deep connection with those that I love and with myself, so that I do not lower my immune system with all the stress that's going on and everything that's been happening in the world. And if we know that gratitude, you don't need to take a drug, you don't need to take a supplement, you don't need to do an exercise, you don't need to do a meditation. You can just be thankful and have your immune system, boom, baby. Feeling grateful for the circumstances in our lives through the ups and downs increases our optimism about our present and future. Immunology is now revealing that optimism boosts our immunity by increasing our red blood cell count. Researchers at the University of Kentucky and Utah found that certain law students under stress who indicated higher levels of optimism had more disease-fighting cells in their bodies. In addition to these fortifying cells, thankfulness promotes better sleep, lower levels of stress, 2 key factors in healthy immune function. So, come on, practice this. I'm telling you, it is the secret sauce. It really is. Now, number 3, we're going to dive right into it because it segues so perfectly. Gratitude reduces stress, anxiety, and depression. Boom, boom, boom. Right? Come on. Something that feels good is completely free and super easy to practice, and it reduces stress, anxiety, depression, boosts our immune system, affects our brain in a really positive way. Come on. So I'm not going to read this one, but just know that when you feel grateful, you're activating the healing emotions that allows our brains to release these feel-good chemicals, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, the endorphins, right? So once you get those good feelings going, it soothes our stress. It helps release our worries. It calms our anxiety. And if you're depressed, if you're really down there, it helps pull you out of the depression. And, most depressed people, like I was once, said, what the hell am I going to do in practicing gratitude? I got nothing to be grateful for, and you really kind of, resist it at every level. But the truth is, it's not true. It's not true. And I was able to find that truth and say, hey, my shoulders are killing me. my life. I have no idea where I'm going. But I started getting simple. What could I do? I could still see. I could still hear. I could still speak, taste, touch, smell. I could still walk. I still had a roof over my head. I still had money in my bank. I had a little part-time job that I really loved and enjoyed at a bookstore, Bay Books in Coronado, California. Loved it very much. Met some of the best people I've ever met working at that job. It was like a family, that place. It was unbelievable. Still in touch with a bunch of those old friends, amazing human beings, some of them who listen to this podcast. So, anyway, gratitude reduces your stress, anxiety, and depression. It helps with clinical depression and PTSD. So, if you have that, great, practice gratitude. You're going to start feeling better over time. But most of us don't have clinical depression or PTSD. We just have the regular kind of daily worries and stress and anxiety of life. So just think how much faster, if it's been proven scientifically to help people that are clinically depressed, clinically coming out of PTSD, imagine how quickly a dedicated, committed thankfulness practice could be for your life. So out in Colorado at this event, we're going to be doing these practices for 3 days. Friday night, all day Saturday, and Sunday morning in one of the most beautiful places, one of the most beautiful environments you could ever find here in the United States. So I highly recommend, if it is something that you would consider, and if you're a podcast listener, I will also add in, if you buy a ticket to this, you can hold me to this. Feel free to email me, matt@mattogreedycoaching.com. And I will also include a free 1-hour coaching session. If you listen to this podcast and you tell me, hey, I'm signing up for your event, you just email me, and I will also add in a coaching session. We could do it this summer if you want. Totally up to you. For more information, go to mattogreedycoaching.com. So, I mean, I'm going to have to do this in 2 parts because I've got to do some other things today, but I'm just going to read the titles of the rest, and we'll get into some more of these. Gratitude creates and strengthens relationships. Do you care about relationships? Well, then you might want to practice more appreciation. Gratitude reduces chronic pain. Do you have any sore muscles? Any areas? Do you have that knee or that neck or the back or elbow or wrist or anything that bothers you? Well, being thankful will help it. Improves our sleep. Who doesn't want to have better sleep? Even people who sleep great often want more of it and want to, have it be more sound, or, find a way to make it a little bit better. But the truth is, I think it's like 60% of the American population has sleep issues. So most of us could get a little more. I'd like an extra hour of deep sleep. Gratitude helps us live mindfully. I'm just going to let that live on its own. You get it. Gratitude promotes exercise and healthy habits. Sometimes it's tough to get out of a rut, tough to get out of old patterns, tough to find that way to, really start what we're most passionate about for our lives, that exercise program, that new project, that new business, that new relationship even, it's stressful, or we find, all sorts of things coming up because we're dealing with that stress. Get appreciating deeply with emotion, because gratitude, appreciation, thankfulness without the emotion is really just like, doing the laundry. You're just getting it done. You've got to feel it to receive the significant benefits. And then the last one here on the list, and I'm going to do another podcast on this. Gratitude improves our self-esteem. I love it. I'm just going to read the first sentence, and I'll leave you with this. Gratitude has an almost magical ability to boost our own self-esteem and sense of self-worth. Telling you, that's juicy stuff right there. So I only got through the first 4. Well, we'll come back and we'll do the rest. Take a look at it. You could just Google Shambhala Mountain. Science of Gratitude pops right up, #1 spot on Google. You can also go to this article, which is on the blog of Shambhala Mountain Center. There's this blog.shambhalamountain.org. You can check it out there, and I'll have information and posts about it on my website. I'm going to put the link in the description of this video too, so that you can get to the event information. And just reach out to me. If you have any questions, I'll respond to you directly. Matt with 2 T's at mattogradycoaching.com. Thanks for listening.